Hello, thanks for joining me in this video, a tarot reading for the sign of Sagittarius. I'm Andy, we are using Tarot in Wonderland. Again, it is so popular. And also in this reading, using my chakra deck here to get a bit more insight into what's going on the inside and how that's going to work best with what's going on in your world and around you at the moment, Sagittarius. So let's have a shuffle and let's pull out the first card in this reading for the sign of Sagittarius. And what have we got? Doesn't look like great news to me. It's the Three of Swords. I'm very glad this is at the beginning of the spread though, because things can really only get better from here. This card is very often something to do with bereavement, so if you've lost someone close to you in recent times, well, I'm very sorry to hear about that or to even think about it. But the purple sky here is bringing healing, and it is a beautiful cake that these swords are stuck into. And so there are some positives in this situation. Most likely, things have maybe not been going well for quite a long time, Sag, or at least a couple of months, I would think. But things are going to be turning around now, because in some ways this reminds me of the Death card. The only way is up, and things have just got to get better. Now, what's really important when we get a card like that is not to lose heart and not to lose hope, because there is always hope somewhere. Most particularly, in fact, Sagittarius, there's hope when there doesn't seem as if there could ever be hope again. So let's go a little bit further and let's do a chakra card and just see what's going on in the spiritual world here. These cards are on the 9 chakra system, so there's one for each of the 7 chakras coming up the body, and there's one in the earth star chakra beneath our feet in the goddess energy that we ground ourselves into, and there's one just above our head, the soul star chakra as well. So these cards really give us an insight into where we've come from and where we're going to more than anything else. Well, we know we're coming from a Three of Swords situation. You could almost say it's not looking good, but that's only when you look back. It's when you look forward that things are looking a lot better. Things have to be better than this. This is just about the lowest ebb that we can reach in terms of the tarot. So what chakra card have we got? Let's turn one over. And here we are. It's the soul star chakra, actually, so we're connecting to the higher universe, the higher realms, and it says here the I am presence. Not easy to read, I know, but that's what it says. Excuse my dirty fingers, it's fire lighting season. Now then, this character really does look very upset and very unhappy, doesn't she? And that is actually the key to the fact that anything that we go through that makes us either happy or sad or anything in between, any of the extremes, is somehow echoed in the spirit realms, in the divine realms, and it plays, of course, into the that what you might call the higher self, you know, and you can't get much higher into the soul realms than the higher self in terms of the human soul. This says the universe is actually there, is actually in tune, and is sending an answer. And although this is kind of a dark, swirly kind of energy that we're seeing in this card, it's a very sympathetic energy, and there's so much green in there, which says to me it's awakening the lower heart chakra, the chakra on which the higher heart chakra stands, and in the light of which the higher heart chakra of the sort of pink love and happiness of life all gets its energy and gets its basis. So there's a dark tree blowing in the wind there, and there are some of those outside my window at the moment, so it's quite inspirational to me. But the fact that that tree is dark is all part of a cycle. We know when things are dark, we know when things are grim, that actually the sun will eventually come out. When it's night, we know there'll be morning. And when it's morning and things are all a bit too glary and shiny, we know there's going to be night time when we can get a rest. So there's a balance for everything here. And the I am presence is really the highest expression of the human form. That's why I'm talking about the higher self here. And whether you believe in God or not, the higher self really is the divine, I would say, the divine that's in all of us. And the divine actually is in all of us, I'm sure about that. Again, you don't have to believe in God or anything like that for it to work. I do myself, personally, I must admit, but you really don't have to get in touch with that and to get the benefit of it. So we've got the Three of Swords, really not a happy card to be starting with, but that is actually about what's been going on. What's coming next is actually where we're going and where the healing is going to come from as much as anything else. So I'm back in the tarot cards. Let's turn over the top one for Sagittarius, and this is a 3-card spread, so this one is the heart of the matter, and it's the King of Pentacles, the Mad Hatter from the Alice in Wonderland stories there. He's a very practical character, is the King of Pentacles, but he represents the fact that you do have a lot of resources about you, Sagittarius, and this is saying that you have got it in yourself to be able to go forward and to be able to go onwards and upwards. You know, there's no going back here, there's no going down here. This is all about the way up. Now, what resources you have after what you've been through, you may be tempted to hang on to those resources. You may think, well, I'd better save up for a rainy day because there's obviously going to be a lot of rainy days. Well, no, not really. You've been through the rainiest day. One way of looking at it, perhaps, you know, if you've got a limited amount of money for sort of heating and fuel and that kind of thing because of winter, it's very tempting to just hang on to it all as much as you can, even though it's a freezing cold day. And next week the weather is going to be warmer, and it really is at this time actually, because I'm doing this early March, so we are coming into springtime in the Northern Hemisphere here, and it would be so easy to hang on to everything, hang on to all your resources for, you know, a difficult day ahead. But actually, you've been through the hardest time now, and this is the time to start using your resources, thinking positively, and actually being willing to put a bit of energy out there into the world to bring better things towards you. Because the better the energy we put out and the more of it we put out, as long as it's good energy, then the better we're going to find coming back to us. No doubt at all. So let me shuffle the chakra cards and see what we've got again in this reading for Sagittarius. I'm doing this early March, but the best time to watch it, friends, is right now when you're watching it. That's how it works. So we'll turn over the top chakra card. We're in the Soul Star chakra again, at the heart of the matter, and this one is spiritual awakening. And this has a great deal to do with using our resources, not just kind of wisely in a scrimpingly saving kind of way, but actually getting out there and using the resources. Because look at the pure gold that is emanating from the top of this character's head, slightly above the forehead chakra here. So this is very spiritual indeed, and it's, you know, it's the Soul Star chakra that's involved in this card. We could tell that because of the colour around the edge here, this silver colour. That's what it indicates. And it says spiritual awakening. So there's an awakening coming in. It's a spiritual awakening. It may go hand in hand with a worldly awakening too. That's what very often happens actually. And whatever you've been through at the Three of Swords stage that we had just now, then there is an awakening coming. And the King of Pentacles energy is all about, you know, not just spend it while you've got it. I mean, obviously you've got to be sensible about these things. That's what it's all about. But it's equally, you know, it's as sensible as anything to actually use some of the resources you've got. Know, Saggy, that you've got those resources for a reason. We're given these things always for good reasons. So this character's got pure gold, and look at those rays of light spreading out into the universe. Well, that is where the universe joins in with us. That's where it all comes together, and that's where positivity is most likely to start coming in again. That's how it happens. That's how the balance of things work. I'm always saying, you know, we're making our own reality all the time, and you're not going to make a fantastic reality by hiding things away within yourself. Okay, so let's move on. Let's do another tarot card, and this one, being a 3-card spread, is going to be the outcome card in this reading for Sagittarius. Tell us the outcome card, please, in this reading for the sign of Sagittarius. Turn over the top one here, and we've got the Three of Cups. Now this is just about the most positive card there is, so we've really come full circle here, and that is great news, because the only way really is up after the Three of Swords. And this is what happens, you know, being at that heart of the matter state now, and actually kind of using your resources wisely and cheerfully, you know, trying to give as much happiness out as you can, making the most of what you've got. Dare I even say, count your blessings, is going to attract great things in. And here we have traditionally a symbol of two people coming together and the universe coming in to bless that union of people in whatever way. And if this is a love reading for you, Sagittarius, then that is very strongly indicated here. But strictly the meaning of this, the way it is in the Tarot in Wonderland deck, this is about a like-minded group of people. It could still be a love relationship, just with someone else helping to make it go well. You know, maybe a parent or a relative who might otherwise be down on you is really approving of this relationship. Whatever it is, it's basically a mutual appreciation society, and for that reason everyone goes onwards, everyone goes upwards, and you get higher outcomes and better things hanging. There is loads and loads of low-hanging fruit in this card, and lots of good things, cakes standing around, and 3 very happy people toasting success, drinking to their health and drinking to the future there. So that is looking pretty good, and that really is a good journey to be on after we've been through the 3 of Swords, and it really is the positive side of the the King of Pentacles. I'm dropping cards everywhere here. So let's shuffle the chakra deck again and say, tell us more about the 3 of Cups in this reading for Sagittarius, please. Tell us more about the 3 of Cups. I'll turn over the top one. Oh, Soul Star Chakra again. This one's number 32 and it's meditation. Okay, so putting that with the 3 of Cups, well, this really does say that the third angle, as it were, the third cup in that card is all about the universe and what it can offer us. It's very close to the card that we just had a second ago on spiritual awakening. It's all part of spiritual awakening. And spiritual awakening, Sagittarius, is all part of worldly awakening. The 2 realms always work together, as above, so below, like in the old figure of 8. And this character is certainly, a worldly human being there, but is sitting down in that meditative position. Maybe you don't do yoga. Well, you don't have to. This isn't necessarily about doing exactly what we see in the card here. But look at the divine fire that's come around this character here. You might want to get into the violet flame, actually. That can really transmute bad situations. That can make really difficult things turn over on their heads and bring better times and better people and better things generally into our lives. So look that one up on the internet, okay? No point me boring you with it at this stage, but the violet flame is wonderful. You'll get in touch with Saint Germain, who is the Ascended Master most closely associated with the violet flame. You will certainly get in touch with everything good that the universe has to bring into your situation. So that is looking incredibly positive going forward, Saggy. I'm going to wrap this one up there. Thumbs up, please, if you enjoyed it. Thanks very much indeed for watching. Do leave me a comment, guys, because it helps me zero in on who I'm actually doing these readings for. What was I going to say? Yeah, do subscribe, tap the bell so you don't miss anything. It gives you a choice, so you tap that bell and choose all notifications, which is at the top. You won't miss anything because there are more readings coming out all the time. It's what I do. It's what Twig Brother is for. It's who Twig Brother is for, which essentially is you. So, I really appreciate you guys watching. Have a fantastic month of March ahead of you. I'll be back in a week or so with another Saggy reading, I'm sure. It never takes long till I get round to that again. But meanwhile, have a good time. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Peace.